Today we're talking about the pros and the cons of living in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. My name is Bill Stevenson. I've been a real estate agent here for 15 years. I've lived here for 30. And so I have some authority when I say that Chapel Hill is a little different from the other cities in the Triangle. Raleigh is the capital. Durham is the creative one. Cary is very organized. Cary is the only city where the landscaping feels emotionally stable. But Chapel Hill has something else entirely. Chapel Hill is a college town. Now, that's also true of Durham to a lesser extent. Durham is a school, Duke is a school with about 6,000 undergraduates in a town of about 300,000 people. Raleigh has NC State. NC State has about 20,000 undergraduates, but in a town of over 1 million people. So it's not the same as Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill is a college town that has a university, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. That's 20,000 plus undergraduates in a town of only 60,000 people. So you can see that it is absolutely dominated by the university. But it's not just a college town, it's a very confident college town. The University of North Carolina is here, and when a university sits in the middle of a town long enough, eventually the entire town starts to behave like a university. People read more, people discuss ideas, people drink coffee, like it's a required course. And everyone becomes very emotionally invested in basketball. If UNC wins a big game, the entire town celebrates. If UNC loses, people begin quietly reassessing their life choices. So today we're going to talk about the pros of living in Chapel Hill, the cons of living in Chapel Hill, and the type of person who tends to absolutely love living here. Because Chapel Hill is not for everyone, but for the right people, it's perfect. The pros. Pro number one, the schools are extremely good. So let's start with that big one, schools. Chapel Hill Carville School District. They're consistently ranked among the best in the state of North Carolina, and families move here very intentionally because of that. Nobody casually relocates for schools. There's planning involved, sometimes spreadsheets, sometimes multiple spreadsheets. Parents here are engaged. Students are motivated, and they are under a lot of stress. And the PTA meetings occasionally resemble a graduate-level debate, like somebody's trying to defend their dissertation. But if education matters to you, Chapel Hill is one of the strongest places you can live in the Triangle. Pro number two, UNC. The University of North Carolina is not just in Chapel Hill, it is Chapel Hill. UNC provides its jobs, UNC provides its healthcare, UNC provides its arts and culture, UNC provides its research and its sports, and a level of intellectual energy that you don't get in most towns. You can attend lectures from people who have written books you pretended to read in college. You can go to concerts. You can go to art exhibits, basketball games that feel like a regional holiday. UNC is the center of gravity here. Everything else orbits around it. And that's a really big plus. Pro number three, the town is beautiful. Chapel Hill is easily one of the most beautiful places in the Triangle. Lots of trees, a rolling terrain. You'll understand if you try to run a marathon here why they call it Chapel Hill. Older neighborhoods, houses tucked into wooded lots, some really interesting and mid-century modern. Compared to newer suburban areas where everything was built last Tuesday, Chapel Hill looks like it had time to become itself. The university was founded sometime in the 18th century, I think. It's one of the oldest universities in the country. I think it is the oldest public university in the country. So it has had a lot of time, Chapel Hill has a lot of time to grow around that to become itself. The trees are mature, the neighborhoods are calm, and even the roads curve slightly like someone was thinking about aesthetics, which is very, very nice. Pro number four, Franklin Street feels like a real downtown. Franklin Street is the center of Chapel Hill life with restaurants and coffee shops and bookstores, much like many other college towns have this kind of thing. Bars, students, professors, visitors, tourists, all that. Parents touring the campuses while pretending they're calm and they've got everything under control and they're not worried about their kids going off to college and doing, college things. In Chapel Hill, you can live near downtown and walk to a lot of things, which is kind of rare in the Triangle. In some suburbs, walkability means you can walk to your mailbox. But in Chapel Hill, downtown especially, you can actually walk to dinner. You can actually walk to a drink. You can actually walk to a lecture, to a speech, to a rally, to whatever. It is actually a nice little downtown. Pro number 5, people here care about things. Chapel Hill residents care deeply about things. Education, certainly. Local public policy, local government, public spaces, environmental issues. Town meetings are well attended. People show up prepared, sometimes with research, often with charts, sometimes with a 3-minute speech that quietly becomes 12 minutes. But the point is, people here are thoughtful. They're thoughtful about their community, which is really refreshing, even if occasionally they're overly thorough and often overeducated. The cons. Con number 1, housing prices. So that's the obvious one. Housing in Chapel Hill is expensive. Not Manhattan expensive, but definitely Triangle expensive. You are paying for great schools and a beautiful town, the UNC ecosystem, and limited land. All of those things increase demand. So if you want to live in Chapel Hill, there will probably be a financial conversation. You'll have to weigh it, maybe build a spreadsheet. Somebody in Chapel Hill will definitely be able to help you. Of what you're giving up if you live in Chapel Hill because it's expensive, as opposed to living in Durham or Raleigh or Cary, where it's slightly less expensive. Durham especially is less expensive. Certainly bring a calculator if you're thinking of living in Chapel Hill and weighing the advantages. Con number 2, this is related to the con number 1, housing supply is limited. The challenge is simply inventory. Chapel Hill protects its character, which is good, but it also means fewer large developments, way less new construction, and occasionally a competitive housing market. If you're coming from a place where entire neighborhoods appear overnight, Chapel Hill may feel a little selective. So it is sometimes challenging to find a home in Chapel Hill, and this is another reason why prices tend to be a little bit higher, maybe substantially higher than other parts of North Carolina. Con number 3, jobs are concentrated. They're concentrated in UNC and UNC Health. UNC and UNC Health are major employers, but Chapel Hill itself is not a huge corporate hub. Many residents in Chapel Hill commute to Durham, Raleigh, and especially Research Triangle Park. Fortunately, those commutes are manageable. Research Triangle Park, which is sort of the employment center of gravity outside of UNC for Chapel Hill, is really only 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away, 25 at some times of the day, but it's not a ludicrous commute like you might find in other parts of the country. But the simple fact is, Chapel Hill is not a place where large corporations build skyscrapers. It's more academic, medical, research-oriented, which is wonderful. The great thing is, Chapel Hill doesn't really need that stuff, because unlike towns like, let's say, University Park, Pennsylvania, which is miles in Bloomington, Indiana, and all these other sort of smaller college towns, they're miles and miles away from the nearest center of employment, from the nearest big city. That is not the case with Chapel Hill. So living in Chapel Hill, you can actually have the best of both worlds. You can have a quaint little college town and yet be 15, 20 minutes away from those large towns that have lots and lots of job opportunities. So I know I've just turned a con about Chapel Hill into a pro, but that's what I'm here for. I'm a Chapel Hill advocate, let's call it. Con number 4, nightlife is, let's just call it, relaxed. Chapel Hill has great restaurants, good bars, but it's not a city really that stays up until 2 a.m. compared to Durham. Things wind down earlier. Now this is if you're a college student or if you're the kind of person who wants to hang out in college bars, then sure. You can go to bars until 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whenever they kick you out. But generally, compared to Durham, things just wind down earlier. Compared to New York, everything winds down earlier. Chapel Hill prefers a reasonable bedtime. Again, maybe that's because people really value education around here, and so, especially on school nights, a reasonable bedtime is something residents appreciate deeply. Con number 5. This town has opinions. Remember earlier when I said people care about things? That also means people have opinions. If a new development is proposed, there will be a discussion. Lots of discussion. Thoughtful discussion, detailed discussion, and sometimes discussion that lasts long enough for a coffee refill. Chapel Hill residents take civic life very seriously, which is admirable, but occasionally they take it so seriously that it's hard for anybody to make decisions around here. But you gotta love a town where residents just care so much. Let's talk a bit about what Chapel Hill feels like day to day. Living in Chapel Hill feels thoughtful. People read books, they attend lectures, they drink coffee, while talking about ideas, of course. You'll notice independent bookstores, local restaurants, students walking through campus. It feels like a town built around curiosity, which is rare. So who loves living here? Chapel Hill tends to attract people who value education, work in academia or healthcare, and want excellent schools. They also prefer a slower pace and enjoy living somewhere that feels a little intellectual. For these people, Chapel Hill is incredible. But some might prefer other Triangle cities. Some people eventually choose Raleigh for job access and development and for growth, Durham for culture and energy, Cary for predictability and peace. Chapel Hill is quieter. It's more academic, more reflective, which is exactly what many residents thought. So final thoughts. It will be obvious very quickly that Chapel Hill is not trying to become a big city. It's trying to remain a great university town, great old school university town with beautiful neighborhoods and excellent schools and thoughtful residents. An entire town that collectively cares about college basketball and lots of other things, which is honestly kind of impressive. So if you're considering a move to Chapel Hill or anywhere in the Triangle and trying to figure out which town fits your lifestyle, you don't have to guess. You can watch videos on this channel. You can also book a conversation or a Zoom call with me. Take the time to subscribe and get notifications so when we post new videos here about the area, you'll be alerted. But when you click on the QR code to book a Zoom call with me, no pressure, no dramatic sales pitch, just a real discussion about your timeline and budget and what kind of place actually makes sense for you. Again, use the QR code or the link in the comments to schedule a time, and that's it. Thanks for watching. And if Chapel Hill is your kind of town, you'll probably realize that pretty quickly. I'm Bill Stevenson from Spotlight Realty. My team and I would love to help you, and we look forward to meeting you. Thanks for watching.